Good morning, traders, and welcome to Flow with the Markets, Tuesday of the weekly outlook and setups, volume 154. As you know, in these videos, I'm pretty quick, pretty straightforward. We just jump on the charts and we adapt to what has happened on Monday and what is happening today on Tuesday, so we can actually see where the market can potentially go. What is the overall sentiment, right, that the market started the week with? Because usually the analysis that we do on Saturday and Sunday, which is our weekend analysis, most of the times I cannot give you a percentage, right? But something completely different is going to happen, right? And then of course, like, I don't know, maybe 7 times out of 10, you will have to adapt, right? So the aim of this Tuesday Flow with the Markets is for you to adapt with me, for me to actually show you how I adapt, so you can also practice your chart work with me and hopefully learn some gems and get some value, right? So let me know actually in the comments, are you enjoying these Flow with the Markets Tuesday? Do you find them valuable? Because they're pretty fresh, well, they're pretty raw, I should say. I don't do any like transitions, any timestamps, any logos, anything like this. I just speak right on the charts, analyze the charts. And yeah, so let me know in the comments if you wish to see something more. Give me some ideas, right? So without further ado, let's actually jump into it. What I actually did is I finished like a 20 minutes recording, and then I analyzed that the video has stopped on the 6th minute. This tends to happen from time to time, right? Which is why I usually analyze on the weekly outlook and setups pair by pair. Because if I speak 40 minutes and then the recording somehow stops, it's gonna be bad, right? And this happened to me right now, but of course, I think there is a lot of benefits to that, because I started like around 8:30, which is 30 minutes into Frankfurt Open. And right now we're actually having the London move, so we're going to adapt a bit better. Okay. So today, overnight, we had the interest rate decision for the Aussie, right? They hiked their rate by 50 basis points. So that is pretty nice, which signifies bullishness on AU usually, but again, the interest rate on the Dixie or on the dollar is higher, so I would still expect the Aussie dollar to go short. Okay, what we're having right now is a lot of momentum, and again, guys, the Dixie, the analysis played out to perfection. I deleted my lines from Saturday because, as I told you, I already did the analysis, but what I expected is another run into this demand, so we had it. And what I like about this run is it was actually created with a lower high. So we have a lower low, then we actually shift the structure to bullish. Overnight, I don't know what was that wick, right? But it threw a big wick to the downside, but it perfectly respected the new higher low, right? And as you can see right now, we are headed into the highs. So of course, my first target will be this as a new higher high. And then of course, we have this, what was it? It was, yeah, it was a big daily / weekly high. Okay, so I do think we're headed for there. So what we have right now is a lot of momentum, right? I was just analyzing the charts right here. It was slightly choppy, and I was saying that like I really don't know what to expect right now. We can have like a deeper wick fill, right? We had this little supply, the market responded, and right now we're just breaking above, right? Which creates right now a brand new demand. So of course, right now with this momentum, I'm really not sure. I would love to see like a nice corrective pullback, but usually when you have such momentum on market open, you have to go like to the 3 or to the 5 minute, because the market is going to give you maybe a 30% pullback, and then it's going to make a new high, and then you have to trade like this. Okay, so don't expect big pullbacks right now on the Dixie, but the bias is just longs, right? So of course, if you pull back all the way down towards this level, beautiful, right? Gonna take longs, but personally I would expect right now maybe a little bit of a slowdown, break, retest, and then a continuation higher. Okay, so let's see how we can flow with that bullish flow right now. And looking at EU, so let's actually go to the FOH. Beautiful development on EU. Unfortunately, unfortunately for me, I took a short yesterday in around again Frankfurt Open and London Open. I got a break even on it. It was a little move down right there, without of course my 4-hourly zone being reached. We reached it at New York, and there were beautiful 3 beautiful shorts to be taken in New York, but I'm not available in New York right now. I'm actually traveling right now again, and yeah, this morning I was at a different place, so I just had to unpack, right, and just rushed a little bit, so my recording didn't go through, right? But I'm not available during New York these days, so that is pretty sad. So I'm just focusing on London. But yes, we had again, similarly to the Dixie, this little pullback, then we have this higher high, and then it makes a new lower low, which is beautiful. So what I then drew is this new supply, which we can see on the 15 minutes, right? And it's more or less like a 30-minute candle if you wish to take only one candle, right? On the 50-minute is a range, like this series of buy candles before this big drop. So we actually started the manipulation a little bit early, even before Frankfurt open. And what my problem is right now is that I'm in a time zone which is UTC +3, right? I keep the UTC +2 right there, but I usually like sit up at like 8 o'clock to trade, and it's 7 o'clock right there, and Frankfurt hasn't even opened, and I like start trading. I'm like, man, this market is not moving. Well, bro, Frankfurt hasn't even opened. Then Frankfurt opens and it's already 9 o'clock, but I think it's London open, right? So today I was also kind of a little bit confused. So I took a loss today right here. My break even yesterday was from here. I reached like 4R, so I took the short from here to there, right? But it didn't have 5R to take. Then I got taken out of break even. Then we had a high. There is the short right there. There is another short right here, right? So today technically we were bearish, right? So I really don't know what I was looking for longs, but again, technically on the 50-minute we were still bullish. I had this demand that pushed. I thought we might actually go and take this high during London. This is why I tried to take a long. So we had a tap inside, we reacted, and the trade I took was, I was doing some other drawings right there. The trade I took was from here, right? So I saw a little shift, so I took it from right there. Stop loss was below. It gave me a reaction stop loss, right? So it was pretty quick. And again, you look at the time, 8:30. So this is 30 minutes into Frankfurt open. I usually don't trade at that time, but at that time it was already in the 9:30. No, sorry. Yeah, 9:30 UTC +3. And I was like, okay, we're running. So I still have to get used to the time zones. But yes, what is happening right now on EU is that we actually responded from this demand and we're just crushing right now, madly crushing down, right? So if you're short from here yesterday, it is just beautiful. I think somebody told me in the comments, I think it was the smart money trader, that he's short. So bro, if you're running this trade, beautiful, right? It's just beautiful, right? So what we can do right now is of course adapt. Well, we have a brand new supply formed right here. As I told you, I don't think it's gonna reach simply because we're just massively pumping away from it. So what we can have is a little bit of a pullback, drop, and then of course I will look for a trade like this. Okay, it's gonna be really nice to have a pullback all the way up, but I don't think it's gonna happen, especially when you have momentous markets like this. Usually you would like to drop to the 5 to the 3 minutes to look for some sort of slowdowns, right? Then a new break of structure, and then just catching the continuation. Okay. Of course, first target will be this low, which is the new lower low. And of course, then second target. Yeah, we have a lot of targets right there, which is pretty much like the daily and the weekly lows that we analyzed on the weekly outlook. But yes, already the short bias is kicking in. Beautiful development on Monday. This is one of the rare cases that my Saturday analysis actually plays out to the point, because I was looking for a tap right there. Shift, retest, beautiful, right? Beautiful delivery of price. So let's see how we can take shorts. Today, I'm definitely short bias. There is no need to go long. I took this one with half risk, 0.25. I usually risk 0.50. So yeah, it was half risk. Looking to see continuations lower right now. The yens are also shifting right now, bearish, although they look a little bit bullish. But what we also had on Euro yen was this supply that got violated, and of course the extreme. It got tagged in. So right now we're massively starting to reverse. Technically, what I spotted, again, as I told you, I did the analysis once, is that they are overall bullish, right, on the 4H. But what you can see on EJ right now is that it actually shifted to bearish, right? So we have a push higher high, higher low, higher high, tapped, responded, and then it broke, right? And actually right now it's building already bearish order flow, right? Supply being respected. So of course, if we have a pullback towards this zone, then I really do think a short is probable. But what I want to bring to your attention as well is that currently the 4-hourly is a little bit bullish, right? So we had the lower high, lower low. This was supposed to be a lower high, responded, broke. This could be a retest for a continuation, right? So I do think we can have a little response from here, but maybe, of course, we can tap, give the response, pull back, and then take the short. Okay, so this is the scenario that I will be looking at. Overall short bias on the yen right now, although UJ is not really shorts so far, so I would be careful. Okay, Aussie dollar, beautiful development on this one as well, right? Beautiful development. We had a first step into the zone, pullback, second tap, which acted as a liquidity gap, and then we started shifting to the downside, right? So if I just zoom in, we had where is the interest rate? Yeah, I think it's this one. Yeah, 630, shifted lower, broke structure, but the structure was even broken from here, so you can be shorting there, break, retest, and yeah, it's a beautiful short that I was actually doing my morning analysis for the team, and this short was just playing out, which was right there, right? So we had the breakdown, right, during the interest rate decision. We had a very corrective, we tapped inside, we shifted the structure right there. So take the trade from here, stop loss, yeah, whatever. And then you just ride it for a new lower low for an 8-hour. Not to say where we are right now. So hopefully some of you took this trade. It was really textbook. And yes, what we have right now is further continuation. New zones are being created. So there is the new zone that I was already marking for you. So yes, break of structure. So what I would love to see, of course, right now is a pullback all the way up and a continuation. But what I told you again, usually in such momentous markets, you tend to get like a 30% pullback and a new break of structure. So if you get this, then wait for the retest and continuation lower. Okay, so this is what I would expect right now on the Aussie. Overall bearish bias. We just need new zones to be tapped in order for us to continue going lower. Okay, but yeah, this is my zone. I don't think it's gonna tap, as I said. So let's see if we get at least a little pullback, break of structure, then just keep following the flow until you're wrong. Okay, AJ. So what I said about AJ is that as long as we are kind of within this demand, I would be skeptical. But right now we're just crushing this demand, which was like this 4-hourly kind of higher low. So we are free to start looking for shorts. So I can delete this. Again, I don't regret actually redoing this video because we have new developments right now. So we have a new supply right there. So let's see if actually some short bias can get into the JPYs. So if you have a pullback right there, I will drop to the 1 minute or to the 5 minute and look for a new setup. Okay, so definitely short bias right now because the 4-hourly was that what I was saying about the JPYs is that the 4-hourly was a bit bullish. So we had the push, pullback, high, and it still hasn't broken below this guy, but right now we broke below it, right? We still haven't closed below it, but we kind of wicked it. So with this in mind, and also looking at how the 50-minute structure, where is this? How the 50-minute structure kind of shifted there, and right now we're starting to break structure. It's starting to build that bearish flow, right? So I am overall looking for the shorts. So let's see, right? This is my first zone for shorts. Let's see if it taps so we can catch the continuations. Yeah, I already have my analysis on NZD. So what the NZD did as well is also reacted from demand. So if you remember, this is the zone from the weekly outlook. We perfectly came in, respected, but you can see the 4-hourly was a bit bullish. So we had this demand, we had a tap inside, we responded, and right now we're breaking below it. Okay, which is really good because we have a brand new zone to trade from. It was a little bit sloppy right there, not really clean, but right now after this break, so as indicated, we broke. So right now what I will be looking for is for a correction, right? So is the correction gonna happen right here? Probably, but yes. So if I just drop a range right now, something like this, I will be looking for a 50% pullback, maybe even 30, somewhere right there, but then it will need to break structure in order for me to take a short from here, right? Right now, if I'm looking for shorts, I would love to see a little bit of a pullback like this and then potentially a continuation lower, right? So this is how I would adapt. NZD looking for shorts. NJ is also kind of starting to break below this higher low, right? But keep in mind the JPYs are a little bit more bullish because of UJ, which we're going to explore right now. But this one as well, like the 50-minute was bullish, tapping into this 4-hourly supply, right? We had a tap, responded, pushed. What I was saying is that this low is liquidity. Why? Because this low failed to make a new high, right? So I thought we can take it out and then potentially see what's going to happen. So we took it out, right, as predicted. But yeah, so right now, again, it's still kind of staying within demand. But again, looking at all the sentiment right now that is bearish, I wouldn't really be taking any longs. Okay, so this is my zone. So let's see if we have a little pullback, shift of structure, and then we can potentially continue with the shorts. And of course, if we maybe pull back a little bit here, break structure again, then I'm just going to continue following the new lower highs and lower lows. Okay, so that's NJ. And as you can see, UJ, what I said about this one is that it's a little bit tricky, right? It's overall bullish, right? This is the daily zone right there that broke structure with a wick. 4-hourly is kind of bullish, but we're shifting the structure on the 4H to bearish. but this was my major lower high. And as you can see, we have broken above it, right? So we tapped inside, we kind of left this little candle right there, very little candle, and we broke above it. So technically we have a zone right here, right? And we have an extreme zone right there, right? So I am overall bullish on USD yen, which is not going to help the JPYs go lower, right? So again, I'm a little bit 50-50 on USD yen. It's a very tricky pair to be traded right now. So guys, again, be mindful, give it time, and give it good confirmation. Okay, so that is USD yen. Yeah, I really want to draw a conclusion what I'm looking for, but I really don't know, right? I wouldn't be looking for shorts right now, although they're possible, like from this high, right? I don't think it's ready for shorts though, but currently the 4 hourly is bullish, right? So I really need to see this. In order for me to take a short in this market, I need to see a structure like this, right? So period, I'm currently bullish on it. My major lower high is broken, so technically I am bullish on USD yen. GU also beautiful delivery. So we had a first tap into the zone, but it wasn't enough. Then we went in for a second time. We shifted on the 15-minute. What is happening right there? A lot of ranges. Yeah, so what we have right now is, I was telling you about these flat lows that they're gonna get taken, but we just don't know when. The delivery was very tricky right now, but as we have this big push right now, breaking structure, of course we're really seeing the sentiment. Some of you might ask if this is manipulation. I don't think so. I do think the orders were accumulated. Right now we push. So I really don't think that this move is a manipulation in order to take longs. Okay, so I would focus on this as momentum, right? Get a pullback and then potentially continue going lower. Okay, so GU in terms of hard time frames, it's beautiful shorts, right? So focus on the shorts, right? We also have right now a 4 hourly shift to the downside. So that is really good. Let's see if we can get any pullback. Maybe today we're going to play again during New York, because London is right now introducing the momentum. It can just continue to flush to the downside, so we might not get a lot of entries. For example, it might flush all the way towards this zone, and then from this zone, right, we might start initiating the pullback, and then maybe get it tomorrow or in London, or in New York Open, right? So let's see what's going to happen. But again, guys, short bias on GU. This is my current short zone right there, where actually the momentum kicked in. GJ is technically bullish right now, just to let you know, right? Yes, we're tapping into the supply, but the structure is bullish, right? From here, responded, shifted higher high, higher low, higher high, and right now we're pulling back for a new higher low. And although we see that the overall sentiment right now is bearish, this one is technically still bullish. So be careful, right? Be careful. Yes, you can start looking to short from areas like this, but according to me, this one is not very strong zone because it didn't really cause any major breaks, right? So I am a little bit 50-50. If you're trading GJ, I would say maybe go trade GU today. It's a little bit more bearish, right? While this one together with USD JPY, that is a bit bullish. This one is also currently quite bullish. And if you remember, like on the daily, we're still also technically bullish, right? So taking shorts on GJ can be risky, but I'm not saying it's impossible, right? I would love shorts if we break below this zone, then pull back, lower high, and then take the short. Okay, so this is gonna be my overall outlook. Euro GBP, screw that pair. Gold, nothing much has developed on gold. Yesterday we had a bank holiday, so we just chopped around, right? I am still looking for shorts. This one looks like a nice high to be taken as liquidity. Right now we're starting to push it a little bit lower, but what I mentioned in my video that I recorded is that I would like to see a setup like this. Manipulation above this high, shift to the downside, and potentially then seeing lower prices. I don't see the longs right now, if you ask me. I just don't see longs. Overall, it's just shorts, right? Look at all these lower highs, right? So I'm going to be focusing on shorts, also because the fundamentals are telling me to do so. US 30, not much of a development yesterday on the indices because, again, bank holiday, the market was closed. But we are shifting a little bit bullish, right? We had this supply, the market responded, tried to push, failed, but then it broke, right? So right now we have a brand new demand. And what I think we can have today is an overall long setup, right? An overall long day into supply, and then from then we can start seeing the bearish leg, okay? So today, if you're trading, I would look to see how the market is going to respect this zone, maybe head a little bit lower. But I do think we can fill in this imbalance right there, tap into this supply that took liquidity, and then to potentially start seeing it go lower. Okay, so this is my outlook on US 30. Same with Nasdaq, right? We still have these flat highs to take. Did we take this high? I do think it's perfectly equal. The high on this one is 718.4, 719. Okay, so this one is lower. So yeah, I do think these ones are getting crushed. So if you have a pullback right there, then definitely looking for a long. Not to say that we can have a little bit of a bullish run, right? I am not sure, right? But I do think we can have a little bullish run before we actually start reversing lower. So let's see, right? Today is going to be the first day for the indices because again, yesterday was a bank holiday. So let's see how they're going to open. And pretty much the same with S&P. Although it already corrected the flat highs, right? We still have some little bit of space to the upside, right? To tap into supply and then to launch a new wave lower. Crypto, yeah, we're having a little bit of a, I'm just not looking at these ones right now because they're just kind of chopping around. So I really don't see any need to analyze them. Yes, guys, if you wish to trade them, sure, like you can have like some shorts like this. It's fine, right? I just don't like the overall structure right there, the overall momentum. So I'm pretty much not looking at crypto. So as you can see, Dixie is just about to smash our targets. Unfortunately, I am not into it, right? EU is plummeting to the downside, and unfortunately, I took a short. I took a break even, so still lost for the week. Of course, it's a half risk, so I'm happy for that. And as I told you, I'm only available during London. So looking at the momentum, I don't think there is going to be something clean to take during London, right? Even the 5-minute is not making any slowdowns, right? Which is not good. So of course, I do think we can have a setup during New York. So if I can tune in, I'm going to tune in. But yeah, overall short bias, targeting all of these lows right there. Aussie dollar short bias as well. Let's see if we can have any pullback so we can start striking on the shorts, right? NZD as well, shorts, right? The JPYs are also looking shorts except from GJ, which needs a little bit more development. Also GU is shorts. Well, guys, pretty much in the word, bullish Dixie and bearish pairs or bearish majors. I'm not sure about where is it? Yeah, UCAT should start to turn a little bit bullish. Yeah, UCAT, I'm gonna have to look at this pair pretty soon. USD Swissy is also should be starting to turn a bit bullish, right? We can see the order flow is starting to turn a bit bullish, right? So pretty much bullish dollar and bearish other currencies. Okay, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Just to let you know that the weekly outlook and setups on this Saturday is not gonna get published because I'm gonna be traveling. I'm gonna be traveling to Turkey for a holiday, for a sea trip. It's 36 degrees, 37 degrees right now here, so it's perfect to take a full break, right? Really detach from everything, refresh even more, right? The sun is shining, so make sure to also reward yourself with a little break, right? Step aside a little bit from trading. And of course, I wish you a lovely trading week. Again, make sure to rest a little bit. If you have any questions, you know where to find me, and talk to you pretty soon.